Hello and welcome to the Sensual Being podcast with myself, your host, Jolene Whiting. I have been a pole dance teacher for nearly 20 years. I'm also a yoga instructor, and my favourite pastimes are connecting to my own sensuality, connecting with the world, and connecting with animals as well. In this podcast, you'll find new and inventive ways of how you see yourself, connecting yourself with others, and also how you see and view the world around you. This episode is all about connecting in, finding time for self-pleasure in different ways, and also how to respect your body further. Hello, you juicy sensual being. Today's episode is actually going to link on a little bit from the self-pleasure episode, because this one is going to be more about connecting in to yourself. So we've looked at self-pleasure a little bit. If you haven't done, by all means go back and have a little play with that episode. But with connecting in, everyone will do this and experience it in very different ways. So I'm going to give you some ways of connecting in. If you already do them, brilliant. If you don't, that's fine. If you would like to do them, by all means, be my guest. You are very welcome to do these. So, first of all, we're connecting in. I've talked about meditation a lot. Meditation does help, mindful movement, just connecting in to the present moment. I'm not really going to be talking about meditation a lot because I've done that on other episodes, but I just want you to know that it's there for you as a tool that will guide you into connecting into yourself further. One of the other biggies, now, this isn't necessarily hand in hand with self-pleasure, but to be able to honor your body more fully and to allow time for self-pleasure, one of the things that I find extremely valuable in respect for myself is honoring my cycle. So ladies, women, this one is for you, this particular one. So honoring your cycle. Now, some people would be like, no. Some people would be like, oh, I haven't had a cycle for a very long time. And before anybody gets confused, by cycle, I mean period. I do not mean a bike ride. Okay. Just putting it out there. So your cycle and to honor it. Now, a lot of people are on birth control. Yeah. Now, one of the things, I'm not telling you what to do, but one of the things that really helped me in my life was coming off birth control. But everyone's very individual with how they need to process everything in their life. But I'm just telling you my experience. Now, one of the things with some birth control is that you don't have a period at all. Now, that one is, I find that's really dodgy. But anyway, what I would like you to hone in on is you can hone in on the moon and the moon's energy. You may even find that if you tune into your body and yourself, you may even find where you are going up and down in a month in your energy. Yeah. The other way to do it, particularly if you've gone through menopause, is to hook in with the moon, and you can actually cycle through her energy. So when there's the time of the new moon, that would in theory be the time of your bleed. And then at the times of ovulation would be the times of like the full moon. So you'd allow yourself more energy. But when you tune into the moon, it's allowing yourself to like be more creative at times, be more pushy, not pushy, but more busy, more outgoing, and then have times of the new moon of just like coming more inward to yourself. But it's sometimes about creating the space for yourself to be able to tune in to your cycle. Like I said, all ways are valid. A book called Wild Power is amazing for that. Being sexual just for you. Now, if you're somebody for this one who only sees themselves as like I don't know, any sort of sexy time. Oh, that's with my partner. I don't make time for myself. If you make the time for yourself, not just for when you're with other people or other situations, that will really help. So like dressing up for you, maybe wearing something very nice underneath your normal clothes when you go to work, and you know it's for you. You're not sending a picture to anyone else. It's for you. And you know that. It's very powerful internally when you start showing up for yourself, not for somebody else. I've talked about inward validation. If you're trying to get outward validation all the time, you'll never be fully complete inwardly. So that's a good way of like coming into yourself, is doing things just for you. Maybe it's your dirty little secret, what you're wearing underneath your clothes today, and you're not telling anybody, but you know. So you're kind of walking around in this heightened state of knowing. Another one is touching. How often do you touch yourself? And I'm not talking about masturbation. I'm actually talking about, do you stroke your skin? Do you stroke different parts of your body? Do you look in the mirror and actually smile at yourself? Do you look in the mirror and say something nice to yourself? So again, this is coming home to you. This is all about you. Do you or can you stand in front of the mirror naked or part naked? Can you do that? Because I can tell you now, you can. The only thing that would be stopping you is your mind. Yeah? Which is why all these things are so important. Can you lay on your bed and maybe put on a sexy song, and then just allow that song, whatever it is for you, to go through you and to touch yourself, to stroke yourself? Now, none of anything that I've said so far has been about climaxing and orgasming. This is about connecting into yourself and heightening your senses. Have you ever tried breathing in, and then as you breathe out, you sigh and you make a noise? Yeah? So you take a breath in. As you breathe out, it's interesting. When you do that, you feel something both being released from you and building up in you at the same time. It's a connection. Oh, I just wish I could do a whole class on this. I would love this at my school. I would love it. I'd love it at Purity to do a whole class on this. So connecting into your senses, full body experiences. Yeah, and I'm not talking about a bungee jump, because I'm not talking about that. But connecting into your senses. So maybe like connect fully into all your senses when you eat something. Savor it. You want to look at it, touch it, really taste it. Don't just put it in your mouth and swallow. That's a nice chocolate. Put it in your mouth and just swallow. No. I mean, actually savor the taste. Get yourself some nice food. Things like strawberries, chocolate, something like that. I mean, it's very cliche, but there's a reason why it's cliche. And when you've done this, you'll realize that you may have been missing out. When you slow down, tune into your senses, put on some nice music, put on, I don't know, perfume, candles, incense, something that gives an aroma. Maybe literally, I mean, all I'm saying is cliche stuff, but try it. Like sprinkle some rose petals. Actually buy some roses for yourself, not for anybody else. Not wait for somebody to buy them for you, but you buy them. And then literally like take those rose petals and like take them off one at a time, feel them, feel the texture, see the color, see the vibrancy. Maybe even talk in to the rose and then sprinkle the petals in a bath. There are so many ways that you can connect into yourself, both sensually, sexually, and offering your body respect. Yeah. So all of these things are kind of very different, particularly when we go from honoring your cycle, doing meditation, to putting rose petals in a bath, to touching yourself. The one thing all of these have in common, one of the biggies, is slowing down. We are so hectic in our lives. We create these busy lives full of distraction, full of not honoring ourselves, full of just being busy. I mean, when somebody says, oh, are you busy? I double dare you to say no. And see what the response is. But I want you to own that no. Own the fact that you're not busy at some point when somebody asks. Because it's a natural reaction just to say, yeah, I'm really busy. Yeah. You do not have to be busy. You do not have to be busy all the time. Busy is very much an out of control type of state. People who are busy are running around like headless chickens with so many bits of paper they don't know what to do with. You are allowed to slow down in your life. You are allowed to gain control and respect over your own body and your own mind, your own feelings. Okay, so I hope that you take some interesting goodies from this episode for yourself. Even if you pick just one thing, yeah, play with it. See how it goes. Feel free to let me know how you get on. Remember to lead through your life with your heart and to live with intention. Thank you so much for tuning in today. If you enjoyed this episode, please do share it with your friends and on social media. If you have the time to rate or review this podcast, I'd be ever so grateful. If you'd like to follow me on Instagram, you can find me at Jolene Sensual Being. The links to my YouTube and to sign up to my mailing list will be in the show notes as well. I look forward to speaking with you again very soon.